they're off. The Unibet Champion Hurdle of 2020. The final flight, Epatante jumps to the front. Epatante is in front, and she's not for catching. Driven out by Barry Garrity. Epatante sinks the champion hurdle.
A jumping exhibition from Politolo. He's run ragged this afternoon. He's jumped superbly. A fifth festival run, a first festival victory. The champion chasers Politolo.
Min picks up well. It's a big jump. Min from St. Calvados. Min is hanging on grimly to win the Ryanair.
The final flight of the Stayers Hurdle. Listener Oscar led by a length and a half. And Listener Oscar has taken the Stayers Hurdle.
Album photo on the far side of Lost in Translation. Album photo, back-to-back Gold Cup. Album photo, the 8th multiple winner of the Cheltenham Gold Cup.
Hello, guys, and welcome to the Nightcap, brought to you by our sponsor, Glenfarclas. That's absolutely fantastic. In the back, you can see the Champion Hurdle Trophy, which will be up for grabs tomorrow. 100 years since that was first one. I've got a number of guests on this show. It's very exciting. Join me every night this week from 7 p.m. It's going to be good fun, very light-hearted, and we'll bring you all the action from Cheltenham Festival supporting Wild Child. Now, Wild Child is a local charity. They do some amazing things. And just so everybody is aware of what they do, here's a little introductory video. Yeah, Wild Child doing some absolutely amazing work, guys. Go and sponsor that if you can and help donate. It does go so far, and it's all for an amazing cause. Now, I'm going to be with a different guest each night this week. Tonight, I'll show you who I'm going to be joined with, but tomorrow I will be joined with Katie Walsh. On Wednesday, Alice Plunkett, Rishi Prasad on Thursday, and ITV's very own Ed Chamberlain to recap on the week on Friday. But I'm thrilled to say I'm joined by Josh Stacey tonight. Josh, how are you? And where are you? You look very, very sunny.
Yeah, with the shade of this ring light, you think I'm in Barbados. No, I can confirm about half an hour away from the course in Stratford-upon-Avon. I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I hope you are as well.
Oh, mate, I'm absolutely buzzing. Yeah, the eve of the festival is going to be extremely exciting. You know, what are you most looking forward to? Stories of the week that you expect?
Paisley Park, Albion Photo, can he win a third Gold Cup? And I must admit, I was looking forward to Annie Mac versus Ellie May. You must be gutted about that.
Mate, honestly, I've got my Annie Mac scarf on, which was very, very kindly made for me. And yeah, absolutely gutted. For anyone who doesn't know and hasn't checked up on the racing news today, Altior is going to be out at the Cheltenham Festival, and Annie Mac as well. Altior scoped, not ideally. They had obviously had the vets in today, and they weren't 100% with him. And likewise with Annie Mac, she's suffered a minor setback. Well, hopefully there'll be a race for her at Aintree. So we'll look towards that from a personal point of view. But yeah, no, Josh, it's great to have you here. Where are you going to be watching the racing from this week? Because a rumor tells me you've been doing a lot of DIY this week.
Yeah, I you can take me from Cheltenham, but you can't take Cheltenham from me. I built Cheltenham in my living room. As you can see, I ordered 16 foot by 16 foot worth of AstroTurf. That looks a bit bizarre when it was coming through the front door. I nicked the white railing from Charlie Post's. Don't tell him that. And then I built my own finishing post.
mate, it looks unbelievable. And the bench, I can't tell if that bench is like a mini bench or whether it's perfect for just one of you. If it's just you watching the racing, I mean, you can't really complain.
Had to borrow my little sister's bench, I think.
Yeah, well, we'll get interactive with everyone at home. If wherever you guys are watching the racing from this week, I imagine obviously no one will be here. Unfortunately, you'll all be at home. Do let us know. Send in your pictures. Try and compete with Josh's setup there, and you can win the end of the week. You know, whatever we get, you can win a Glenfarclas bottle if you manage to trump that excellence, which Josh is probably taken hours putting together. But it looks fantastic. Use the hashtags Cheltenham Festival and the hashtag the Nightcap to get your entries in. Josh, we'll come back to you in just a second to discuss the racing. But earlier I caught up with Simon Clace, clerk of the course here at Cheltenham. He does some tremendous work, obviously the preparation with Cheltenham. I spoke to him about an hour ago. Let's see what he had to say ahead of this very big week. 20 years, Simon, I believe you've been doing the festival for. How's things changed? This is obviously very different this year.
Things are very different this year, Chris. Actually, it was 20 years ago that foot and mouth was affecting the country. And of course, that year we had to rearrange the festival from March to April. And then sadly, we were consumed in a local infection area and we didn't have a festival at all. So here we are 20 years later. Yeah, a great deal has happened in that period of time. Of course, the festival has gone from 3 days to 4 days and seems to have become a bigger and bigger event every year.
Yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely tremendous. I mean, you've obviously been a very busy man. Before we get on to the important stuff, talking about the ground and how that's going to be this week, we know overnight it obviously changed. It went to soft ground, good to soft in places. But let's just talk about yourself from a personal point of view. I say you've been doing this for 20 years. What time, Simon, do you wake up in the morning? When does the alarm go off on a typical day for you?
Well, on a race morning at the festival, normally about 4:45. But I do find that I'm particularly attuned to what's happening outside. You know, is it raining? Is it not raining? So I don't sleep particularly well in the build up to each race day.
No. When do you manage to get to bed then on a reverse note? If you're getting up at 4:30 most mornings, I imagine you have an early night.
I'm pretty antisocial at home through this week. I try and get into bed by 9 o'clock to be asleep by 10.
Yeah, no, good man. I don't blame you. And I mean, what's your favourite festival memory as well? Obviously, you've been doing this for 20 years now. You must have some really great memories of your time.
Look, I've been so lucky here. You know, we had 3 years of best mate winning Gold Cups. We had Big Bucks winning multiple stayers or world hurdles. Yeah. And I think that period through 2007, 8, 9 with Corto Star winning the Gold Cup, then Denman, and probably one of my favourite moments was Corto Star reclaiming the Gold Cup back in 2009.
Yeah, tremendous horses, obviously proper Cheltenham horses as well. Yeah, great memories. And you must do some walking on a day-to-day. I mean, if you don't know the exact amount of steps, I'm sure you probably don't have a stepometer, but you must cover some miles in the week, especially this week, Simon.
Well, I was rigged up with one of those things that counted your paces. I can't remember if it was 29,000 a day or 29,000 for the week. It feels more like 29,000 for the day because, you know, from the moment we kick off here around about 5:45 to do the first inspection of the course through until usually well after the last race, there's barely a moment to actually sit down. So it keeps me fit.
And Simon, just for people that don't know, obviously it can be very educational to understand what your job actually involves. I know you obviously walk around, you're doing the ground, and typically people will think that's all you have to do, but there's a lot more to it, isn't there?
Yes, the clerk of the course function really involves the whole of the management of the racing function. So, you know, we're talking about the entries, the race programme, the dates of the fixtures. We're looking after the needs of the stable staff, the jockeys, the trainers, the owners. And we're also planning to, throughout the weeks ahead of the meeting, everything that we need to do in terms of the veterinary and medical services. So there's a lot that goes on, but I'm very fortunate to have a brilliant team around me, from John Morrison in the stables, who's looking after up to 300 horses any one time here, because the Irish who've travelled over are here for a few days before they race and sometimes a day or two afterwards. We'll have 140 stable staff staying with us probably through Tuesday and Wednesday night. So John's busy in the stable yard. Ben, the head groundsman, does a great job out on the track. He's got 120 or 30 people working with him on the day. And then in my office, Victoria and others who are looking after the sort of requirements, usually for owners. Sadly, we haven't got them with us this time. But it's a bit like being a ringmaster at a circus, really. You rely on a lot of people around you to help deliver the racing throughout the day and afternoon.
Yes, a serious operation. I saw you were hospitable with Henry de Bromhead. I saw Honeysuckle was here earlier today, and seen all the social media footage surrounding that. So it's obviously very exciting, you know, when they all come to the race course in preparation just before the festival starts.
That's when this place really comes alive. You know, the preparations have been going on since the turn of the year. It's wonderful once we start populating the place with the horses. They were arriving from Ireland from midday on Saturday, and slowly those numbers will build up over the coming days. But there must have been 60 or 70 horses out on the gallops this morning from Calentra House, from Willie's, from Henry's, and from Joseph O'Brien's.
Yeah, beautiful sight. And let's get on to the interesting facts, which obviously a lot of viewers who are watching this now will want to know. The official going, is it soft, good to soft in places currently?
Yeah, that's right, Chris. We had unexpected rainfall last night. So there I am saying, based on yesterday's forecast, we expected the ground to stay good to soft in places through today and tomorrow. Then last night, I don't know if you were staying locally, but we had an absolute downpour between 11 and 12 o'clock. I think it amounted to something like 12 millimetres or half an inch of rain.
Heavy, very, very strong,
That's why we've changed the ground soft, good to soft. It's been a lovely day here. The wind's picked up a little bit. It's been quite warm at times. So whether or not we hang on to soft, good to soft, or we swap it around the other way, either tomorrow morning or when we have a look around mid-morning, that could be a possibility that we end up back to good to soft.
Yeah, no, of course. And it alters as well, the ground, doesn't it? Does it change much for the hurdles course to the chasing course?
No, we're pretty consistent around here on the chase and hurdle tracks. You know, as we know, the place is pretty well drained. I know we had some issues through January when we sadly lost 2 race meetings, but the whole of the country actually was waterlogged for a period of time. But no, they're pretty consistent on both the chase and hurdle tracks.
No, excellent. No, I wish you all the best for the week, Simon. And just before you go, I mean, you've obviously got a very busy week, so I won't keep you too long. You want to get home and check out the weather app and put your feet up. But what do you typically do? You know, when Friday is finished, I'm sure you're a man who would like to get himself down to 21 Club in Cheltenham for a little bit of a night out on the Friday to celebrate. But what's a typical Friday when you can put your feet up and relax after the festival? What would you do?
Well, I'm not normally joining a local friend of mine whose birthday is during this week, and we get together in a local pub, probably one that you'd know in Naunton. But that won't be happening this year. But there's such a buzz about the whole week that it's very difficult just to sort of suddenly switch off when the whole thing's over. I'll spend some time after racing's finished going round all the people who've been supporting the racing function, from the ground staff, the doctors, the vets, the people in the stables, etc. I probably wouldn't get away from here until about 8 o'clock or 8:30. By the time I get home and have a bite to eat, sit down in an armchair, I'm probably asleep by 9:15.
I was going to say it's been a long day by then, but I'll let you crack on. And yeah, thanks to yourself and all your team for all the work. It looks tremendous here, and I'm sure the racing's going to be spot on as well. So thanks for joining us, Simon. Yeah, great of Simon Clace to join us there. I mean, I'm a Cheltenham boy, and everyone who knows Cheltenham will know 21 Club, and I'm sure I've seen his face on a Friday night before. But I'm delighted now to say I'm joined by Barry Garrity live. Barry, how are you?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Where are you this week, Barry? You in Ireland at home?
I'm back at home. I'm County Meath. I'm not far from Fairfields Racecourse.
Oh, exactly. And just before we start to discuss a race you've won 4 times, the Champion Hurdle, you know, what's life like for you now, Barry? Obviously, I know when AP retired, he probably was twiddling his thumbs a bit and not knowing what to do. But what's it like for you, a typical day at the moment?
Well, I've been busy the whole way through. Obviously catching up at home as well, because I've been a part-time dad for the last 15 years. So I'm putting in plenty of time at home. But I've got some nice young horses, and I've always had that. So I'm busy with those. I write a bit of work for Calentra stables as well, maybe once or twice a week. But no, I have plenty of interest, plenty keeping me going, a little bit of farming. So it's a quiet, steady lockdown, but I'm enjoying the home life.
No, it sounds delightful. Do you miss it much, honestly? Do you miss the racing?
I don't miss the busy lifestyle, the commuting to and from England maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So I'm enjoying the pace of life, the steadier pace of life. I'm enjoying that. So I suppose as much and all as I'd love to be riding in Cheltenham this week, having swung the lead for the last 51 weeks of the year, I can't very well expect to rock up for Cheltenham week.
Yeah, I bet it's the week where you turn on the TV and you start watching it and think, I wish I was getting involved. And I imagine tomorrow you wish you were getting involved. Like I said, the Champion Hurdle, that behind me, you've won 4 times. I think 12 years ago, was it Punjabi? Was it 2009 to get you started?
Yeah, Punjabi 2009 for Nicky Henderson, the first year on the job. So there was a brilliant way to market. It was a total 3-to-1 shot. So, but we quietly fancied him, and a few friends had a few quid on him, so it was good.
Yeah. But, it's always helpful when you know the right person. Yeah, and then jet ski, you've won it with as well, and Bouvedere, most recently, of course, Epatante last year.
Yeah, so I was very lucky. All 3 of those were owned by JP McManus. Jesse Harrington trained jet ski, and Nicky trained Bouvedere, and then Epatante, obviously. Yeah,
and I mean, Epatante this year, she's a top class mare, and it's going to be extremely exciting. Do you think Epatante, how do you assess the chances? You know this horse well. She's got obviously bounced back from a disappointing run on Boxing Day, beating 6 lengths to Silver Streak at the time. Does she bounce back tomorrow? I think so. Nicky seems very happy with her. It was disappointing she was beaten that day, but Christmas is a long time ago now, and she seems in really good form. She won the race last year on soft ground when we thought she'd struggle. So she coped with the ground last year, and she's a year older and she's stronger. She won it as a 6-year-old. She's now 7, so she will have improved physically in that space of time. So the rain that fell last night wouldn't be ideal for her. Yeah. But she coped with it last year, so I'd like to think she'll cope with it again this year. But Honeysuckle, Goshen, it's a strong race. She's going to have to really bring her A game. Yeah, it's a strong race. Yeah, I was actually discussing it with Josh just before we came on air. That obviously after speaking with Simon Clace, the fact that, it looks to be drying up. They have fantastic weather here today, really all day, and there's a bit of breeze in the air. Who knows, come tomorrow, afternoon, when it's showtime, the ground could be back to sort of good to soft, which, like you just said, would suit Epatante slightly better. It would definitely, but at the minute, as it stands, being soft is definitely swinging us to in Honeysuckle's favour, and I think Goshen as well. But drying ground can become tacky holding ground. So although it may be called good to soft, it might be a little bit dead and be hard work. So that would be a negative for Epatante as well. But I think she's the class mare in the race. She has the speed. She's the reigning champion, and I think she deserves a lot of respect. Yeah, she's very elegant to watch. And if you were riding here this week, if you could pick any horse to be on board, who would it be for the week? For the week, well, Epatante would be number 1 and Champ would be number 2. I think he's the biggest threat to Album Photo. And Album Photo, the dual winner of the Gold Cup, and he deserves massive respect for that. But I think what Champ did in Newbury, it just showed his well-being. Having fought so hard to win the RSA last year, he proved he stayed that day. But to run as big a race as he did in Newbury over 2 miles, I think it really shows his well-being. So he's going to be, I think, a big player in the Gold Cup, and he's the one you'd want to be on for me anyway. Yeah, 2 of JP's strong chances. I think, Josh, you've got your Champ scarf on. Am I right in saying? Do indeed. Yeah, it could be Ellie Mae, Champ, or Epatante. Exactly. Yeah, take your pick. Barry, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're a busy man. You've got other duties now to take care of, but no, thank you. You take care, and obviously enjoy the week ahead. Cheers, Chris. Thank you very much. All the best. And great to obviously catch up with Barry there. We've also, looking ahead and staying on the Champion Hurdle, which I'll discuss with Josh in a second. Rachel Blackmore rides Honeysuckle. That is your favourite currently. And Alice Plunkett, ITV Racing's Alice Plunkett, caught up with Rachel Blackmore to discuss Honeysuckle's chances over the weekend.
Well, Rachel, welcome to the show, and just great to have you here. We've loved watching from the UK your fantastic season unfold over in Ireland. How's it been your end?
Yeah, look, it's been great. We've had a fantastic year so far. So, this is the important week. So hopefully the success can carry through.
You've got the most extraordinary book of rides, strength and depth, all sorts of trainers supporting you. But of course, your main boss, Henry de Bromhead, and you teaming up with the wonderful Honeysuckle. It's the sort of the 2 girls going to war together. She is something else, isn't she?
Yeah, she's incredible. she's never let us down so far, and yeah, I'm just hoping that we can continue that on Tuesday.
What is it about her that makes her so good?
She's just incredible. Like, she digs deep when she has to. She gets me out of trouble when she has to. She's just been phenomenal. I can't find any fault with her, and it's just fantastic to be involved with something of her caliber. It's what every jockey kind of dreams about, getting teamed up with something like her. So yeah, it's just a privilege.
This year, it seemed like it was just an absolute no-brainer that the Champion Hurdle was where she had to go after that brilliant performance in the Irish Champion Hurdle.
Kenny Alexander, his main aim was, to win the Mares' Hurdle in Cheltenham, and that was a fantastic achievement for him to be able to do, with the help of Peter Maloney. So, we got that done last year, and I think her performance in Leopardstown was ultra impressive, and yeah, why not have a stab at it?
It is the ultimate, the Champion Hurdle. Who do you see as the main danger? If you weren't riding her, who would you want to be riding?
Oh, look, it's an extremely competitive race. These championship races are unbelievable. Obviously, Epitan from last year. Goshen has been, very good the last day, and what he was going to do last year as well. So, look, it's extremely competitive. But hopefully we're on our A game and we can produce the goods again.
So, out of the rest of your book, who would be the one you're most looking forward to riding?
As you said, I've a massively, I have a massive good book of rides. The likes of Champagne Gold, if he goes for one of the handicaps, Captain Guinness, Notebook, you're looking forward to a lot of them. So obviously the Gold Cup, Appletar, very much looking forward to riding him as well. I could be here all day listing them all off together.
Well, look, safe journey over. Look forward to seeing you come Tuesday.
Thanks, everyone. See you all.
Yeah, lovely insight there. And just for everybody who doesn't know the current prices, we've got a video here just to reflect those, to let you know the current prices for the selections in the Champion Hurdle.
Hi, Ed Nicholson here from Unibet. Look, we're delighted to be part of the festival supporting Well Child. It's great. Day one tomorrow. Our feature race, the Unibet Champion Hurdle, is on at 3:05, where these colours hopefully will win it again with Epitan. That's going to be my charity bet. £20 win on Epitan. As far as special offers from Unibet are concerned, well, if you want 10-1 Honeysuckle or 16-1 Epitan, or maybe 20-1 Goshen, well, you can get those odds by going to @Unibet Racing, read the tweet and see how you can get those particular odds for those horses in our race. In addition, we've also got an offer throughout the whole week of Cheltenham, which is our 15 to go. If you back a winner in the 15 minutes before the scheduled off time of any race at Cheltenham, we'll give you a free bet up to £20. Do check the site for terms and conditions, and we wish everyone the best of luck, and hopefully we'll have a great Cheltenham festival.
Yeah, and we ran a poll on the Cheltenham socials, Cheltenham Racecourse socials today, to see who the public would favour for. And you all favoured Honeysuckle, the favourite in the race, who Josh has been, well, she's been well supported in the market. I think she's into about 7-4 now, Honeysuckle. Where do you see, the big race faring? How do you see it playing out?
It's a brilliant Champion Hurdle, first and foremost. I'm glad to hear Barry Garrity say that Epitan, it's a long time since Christmas. I think there was rumours of a back problem. So hopefully she's recovered from that and she can be there on her A game. It's an interesting race. Goshen, it'd be a great story after last year's Triumph Hurdle agony. But 5-year-old record in the race isn't great, and he's not straightforward. And I think Not So Sleepy will be doing all he can to ruin the party. So you go back to Goshen, and the soft ground, good to soften places will help. She's 10 from 10. She's unbeaten. She won last year's Mares' Hurdle, beating the mighty Benny Deju. And after that race, people questioned the ride from Paul Townend, but maybe Honeysuckle is just that good. And she can. I will be siding with Honeysuckle. I don't see any reason why he couldn't. She's unbeaten, and her best performance was last time out in the Irish Champion when she was electric. The best round of jumping we've seen. And if she can put something similar in tomorrow, she's going to take the world of beating.
Yeah. she's unbelievable. She actually looks like she's constantly improving. And I keep clinging on to the, obviously Annie Mac won't be here this week, but I cling on to the form lines. For those who don't know, Honeysuckle all the way back beat Annie Mac in a point-to-point before they went under rules. So I know it's a long time ago, years and years ago, we cling on to the form lines every time. But let's focus on another few races tomorrow, starting with the Supreme, a very, very interesting race. For me personally, I would look to be taking on this favourite Appreciate It. For me, it's an accumulator horse. I wouldn't want to try and kickstart my festival back in Appreciate. But how do you see it? How do you see it faring?
I think you're trying to overcomplicate it. He's won 2 Grade 1s over 2 miles in Ireland. He's beaten all the Irish. Ballyadam couldn't beat him last time out. He looked like he was travelling well and could pick him up, but it didn't happen. Metier won the Tolworth, but the second Shake 'em Up Harry hasn't been great since. So that form might be slightly iffy. Soaring Glory was so impressive in the Betfair Hurdle, and he's got some big field experience. I know you were down at the yard this week. How's he getting on?
Yeah, Soaring Glory is flying. I actually spoke to John Joe Jr., obviously is piloting Soaring Glory this week. But yeah, he was actually my selection back in at the end of July at I forgot which meeting, at the Goodwood Festival. I think I said that was my, novice to follow for the season. And yeah, winning a Betfair Hurdle, he's not let me down. So John also believes that he can improve slightly, which I think is very important, because you're going to have to improve, obviously, to step up. No horse has ever won the Betfair Hurdle and gone on to win a Supreme. They've knocked at the door, but not come close enough. But I look at horses like Mullins' runner in this race, Willie Mullins' Blue Lord. I think with a bit more injection of pace in the race, that's a horse which has never really settled into a race. And I think with added pace, I think if fluency of jumping, I think he'll settle into it. And that'll be an interesting runner at a double figure price. Yeah,
I agree. He was second behind Bob Ollinger over 2.5 miles, and everyone fancies Bob Ollinger to win the Ballymore on Wednesday. And his third behind Appreciate It last time out wasn't bad. Yeah. I would agree with that. I'd say Appreciate It will win it, but Blue Lord a close second. For every Duvan, you need a Shane's Hill. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Blue Lord winning a maiden hurdle and hopefully looking for more success tomorrow. Now, a race I know that you're looking forward to tactically, not a big field now, 6 runners in the Arkle. Few disappointments with non-runners this last week. They were announced. How do you see the Arkle panning out? Obviously, it's got to be tough to beat Shishkin, right? Ticks all the boxes, surely. He does tick all the boxes. He had every right not to win the Supreme Novices Hurdle last year. He did. I think Harry Skelton will try and put as much pressure on those in behind as he possibly can. And if All Mankind's on his absolute A game, he's going to be difficult to beat himself. And I think in any other year, Shishkin and All Mankind and Enigma would be very short price. But Shishkin, he just looks too good. Yeah. Well, All Mankind, of course, a distance winner, of course, like you said, he'll set the pace. He'll try and dictate from the front, and that will be the interesting tactical affair. Yeah, if he can get them jumping in behind and making mistakes, then he's going to be tough to peg back. Yeah. And Josh, while we got you here, every night this week we're going to have a little guest challenge with all our guests. We want you to pick your bet of the week, and come the end of it, I'll send whoever wins out of our guests a bottle of Glenfarclas as well. I'll send you my address now. Go on, and who you on? I think Ellie May will win, but Ntukas for me in the Grand Daniel. I've been banging on about him for the whole of this festival period, and I think this has been the plan. And I'll be disappointed if he's not in the first 3, but I think he's going to go mightily close. Takes on Sky Pirate as well, another horse I saw this morning up at John Joe O'Neill's. No, Josh, honestly, thank you very much for joining us. Before you go, though, the trainers, the jockeys championship. I mean, I'm going to have to ask you for your opinion on this. And obviously the Potemps Presbury Cup as well, Ireland v England. Who's going to be leading jockey, trainer, and Irish or English for you? It's hard to see past Willie Mullins and Paul Townend. Yeah. I think Henry de Bromhead and Rachel Blackmore will be close, but they've dominated the festival for years. I don't see that changing. And as much as I'd love to support the home team in the Presbury Cup, I think that's wishful thinking. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah, it seems a far-fetched, so much firepower coming over from Ireland as well, of course, and especially out of Willie Mullins' yard. And guys, for everybody watching at home, you can tune into the Cheltenham Festival live on ITV Racing, Racing TV, and Cheltenham Live, which is on the Cheltenham Racecourse website, Race Day Live. But what a great week it's going to be. I'm extremely excited. I will see you tomorrow. I will be joined
by Katie Walsh, and we'll be looking ahead and previewing the Betway Champion Chase, which is going to be exciting on Wednesday. But in the meantime, I'll raise my glass. I'll wish everybody a healthy week. Josh, you raise his champ scarf. He's all over champ for the Gold Cup on Friday. But you guys take care. And I'm going to leave you something very, very joyful now, just to raise your spirits if you needed them on this Monday evening. But take care.
And they're ready to go, and they're off. And first to show, it's the big breakaway with the Duke of Sussex and Shake 'em Up Harry. And behind them, they're being pressed by her indoors, the Storyteller, Itchy Feet, and Next Destination. Behind them comes Grumpy Charlie, So Royal, Embittered, Us and Them, and Fury Road. Over the first, and Happy Diva making good progress, edging out Piers Morgan on Irascible and What's Wrong With You, with the Duke of Edinburgh tucked in on the inside of St. Bart's. Up towards the second, and it's the two French runners, Chacun pour soi, that's everyone for himself, and Royal Pagile, that's Royal Mess, with Prince William making up ground with one for the team. 2 furlongs to go, and Piers Morgan's a faller as Happy Diva with Stratagem closes in on Vindication. But coming up on the far side, it's Storm arising as the tabloid press and Tory Graph step up with Pile On. And as they come to the line, it's Happy Diva, You Know What I Mean Harry, Grumpy Charlie, and Royal Pagile in an album photo finish, and trailing behind it's Us and Them, and Irascible, and Embittered, and Pile On, and Heaven Help Us.